I am here with the Exchange Mobility Guru, right?
You're too kind.
Okay, all right. And could you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Sure. I'm Adam Glick. I'm a Senior Technical Product Manager here in the Unified Communications team. I work with the Exchange team, and my focus is really around client experiences against Exchange. So as you mentioned, mobility and Exchange Active Sync is kind of a core piece of what I do. There's also some stuff around Outlook Web Access, Outlook, all sorts of other clients that connect into the Exchange server.
Okay, all right. So with this new release coming out here, what were some of the things that we were thinking about? What were some of our goals to achieve?
Wow, so we decided to really put some serious investment into mobility. That we see mobility is really a growing area as part of this three-screen strategy. So you always had Outlook, and Outlook's kind of your main way that you communicate with Exchange. But now people want to be mobile. They want to be able to log in from home or when they're at an internet kiosk. And so we put a lot of investment into OA and making that a really great experience. And mobile devices, which have really grown over the past several years, have really become a way that people want to interact with their Exchange data. They get their calendars, contacts, email. And so we put together a team and really said, hey, how do we make this a great experience? How do we bring the experiences that people are used to on the Outlook and in the web browser, and we bring that to a mobile phone? And so we did a lot really in that area, and that's kind of the stuff I'd love to talk to you about today.
Okay, all right. Well, can you show us, even better than just talk about it, can you show us some of the cool new features that we have?
Sure.
Yeah, okay.
So
okay,
take us over here. I'm in the Outlook mobile application. As you can see, it looks a little different than the one you're used to. You can see a little bit of the preview of what you're talking about. You can see who mails are from. But one of the biggest differences that we've got is conversation view. So just like our conversation view in Outlook and in OA, we've implemented conversation view on the mobile device. And so when you look at here, like we've got this review here from Jill Schrader, and you'll notice that we have this parentheses 9 here. And what that means is, rather than showing you 9 separate emails, all as part of a conversation that people are having, we've collapse them together. So you can say, okay, this is something that someone's talking about. Do I care about that conversation? And if I do, then I can click on that. And when I go into that particular mail, then I'm going to see each of the messages in that conversation. So here I've jumped to the most recent message, and I can see what people are talking about. I can go into those messages, view the details that I care about, and then take action on it. So one of the other cool things that we've done with that is not only can you go in and you can view each of your messages, and you can see here we'll jump out to the conversation view, and here's all the different messages. It said there were 9 messages in it, so here's all the different messages that you could scroll through. So we come back out, you can see there's now only 8 messages here because of the one we already looked at in that message list. But I see this is all about, in this case, Tailspin toys. And so if I wanted to, I can go in, and before you had to move each message, remember you click move and then you choose where you want to move it, come up with a message list. But what's cool now is if I wanted to, I could choose do this for all future messages in this conversation. So I can check this. And this is going to go and create a rule up on the web server. So up on the Exchange server, I've now created a rule that's going to make that decision for me. So I don't sync any more of the messages that are in this conversation thread if I want to file them all to a subfolder. Or if it's something that I really don't want to pay any attention to, I could also choose to always send this to deleted items. So for message threads that just go crazy with tons of people replying, just put it on deleted items, and it never comes down to my device, just never syncs.
Okay, and what happens to those rules? Do they expire after a certain period of time, or do you have to go back and manually clean those up, or how does that work?
They're actually stored in a separate rules cache up on the server. So there's the one you normally see if you're used to using like Outlook or Outlook Web Access. These are actually stored in a separate cache because you're likely to build these up over time, and so it knows to smartly handle those.
Okay, so that cache, after a certain number of rules, then it'll eventually just kind of time out, and how does that?
it will actually hold on to it because it recognizes, it does it by a thing we call conversation ID, which is, you can think of it like subject, but it's actually smart enough to know if you're branching by subject, but it'll hold on to them. But because you don't have all the options that you have with a regular rule, and it's not being set at the transport server the way normally rules are applied, you get a separate set of functions that happen. And so it's a list that you never have to worry about. You can keep adding and adding. It's not going to be a problem. So one of the other things I wanted to show you is, if you saw Ankur's earlier discussion, they talked a little bit about unified messaging and voicemail. And he showed that in Outlook and OA. And if you take a look here, same thing, we have a new voicemail. And you'll notice that your voicemails are identified in your inbox now. You can see you've got a little phone icon to let you know. And if you open that message, so here's one from Evgeny, it's a voicemail, and you can see that you get the transcription of it. So when people leave you a voicemail, you can take a look on your mobile device and see, okay, what did they actually say? I don't have to go and take the call or then leave the room and go call voicemail. I can see what it said and make that decision. Okay, do I need to do something about it? We've also got a built-in player that right now you can push the button and it'll play right from within your Outlook mobile experience. So you don't have to go and take the attachment, open the attachment, have Windows Media Player play it for you, then exit out of that, go back into your mail in order to take action. It's all just right there, easy for you to use. If we take a look at the contact card we've gained, you'll notice that there's a new option here, which is Get Free Busy. So if you click on Get Free Busy, we actually now go through the server and we get people's free busy information. So when you have an information from someone, you need to be able to set up a meeting. Evgeny was trying to get a hold of me. I can see when he's available to go stop by his office or give him a call because I have that information right there. And that's all brand new in 2010.
So the next question I have is really, what is there in the IT Pros? We've seen some cool features from the more of the end user kind of standpoint with the phone.